Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show today. Here we go. We have our live here on the Zoom and the podcast. Michelle Barnard joining us here to talk more, about what she does with MB Guiding Light. And today we're going to talk about achieving self-sufficiency and so much more. First and foremost, tell us a little bit about what MB Guiding Light is and what you do as a lifestyle change coach.
Yeah, so as a lifestyle change coach with MB Guiding Light, we offer a three-pillar support system where we focus on professional development, personal development, and we also give you guidance within spirituality. And it's just to help on your health and your well-being and just, help you to identify goals, develop a plan that helps you navigate through certain obstacles in your life so you can get to that preferred lifestyle that you're looking for. So like I said earlier, personal growth plans that I create. I help you do some career coaching as well. And I also do tarot readings. So if you ever want to get some insight into the future, let me
Yeah.
know.
Well, of course we do. This is fascinating stuff. Let me ask you how we reach you and can contact you. Website, phone number, social media before we start.
Sure thing. So I am mbguidinglight.com on my personal website. I can be found on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube with the same name, MB Guiding Light. I also have my phone number is 773-412-6116. And my email address, if you're interested in that, it's michelle@mbguidinglight.com.
Awesome.
I also have some other ways you can reach out to me if you just want to learn about me. I have a book that I wrote, Shining Light on Relationships Flags, which defines and identifies red, yellow, and green flags. You can find that on Amazon. And then I also have a YouTube channel where I talk about my own personal accounts of how I got through some of the obstacles in my life. And I'm here to help you guys.
Thank you. Excited to have you today. And we're going to talk today about achieving self-sufficiency. And we're going to start with a little, I guess an introduction as to the work that you're doing and the role that you play as a lifestyle change coach. Could you share what that is?
Yeah, so last week I had discussed about navigating career development and growth and the importance of getting a job and how it
Yep.
helps to make you more adaptable in the job market and such so forth, and financial stability, which is also important. So what I want to dive in today talk about is the topic of self-sufficiency and how, a lot of times people are super reliant on other people or the government. And it's just a way to understand how you can live a life that you prefer on your own terms. So as a lifestyle change coach at
Hmm.
MB Guiding Light, what I
Gotcha.
do is I provide you professional support and guidance and, create those development plans that you can actually take steps to make things happen. MB Guiding Light, here to support you, hold your hand if need be, meet you at where you are right now, and then walk you step in foot and hand together to reach that goal that you want to accomplish. So I try to help, enlighten you on things that you can't see because you're too close to the situation.
Yeah, that
And that,
happens a lot, doesn't it?
yeah, and the quote is, I think, the cliche quote is, seeing the forest for the trees. And I help you see both aspects of it and give you perspective. I like to inspire you to want to change for the better. And I like to uplift you to keep your energy, momentum going, to keep going and empower you and help you to actually thrive. So the topic of self-sufficiency, and the reason why it's important in today's society is a lot of times individuals, they want to take control of their lives. They want to reduce the
Yep.
dependency on others, build resilience. But it's a vital skill that sometimes people think is just like you can just snap a finger and do. But it takes a lot of cultivating yourself in forms of your enhanced well-being, making sure you have a nice habit in place for yourself, and that you're really deeply rooted in, wanting to make mental and emotional changes where you can support
Yeah.
yourself. And being self-sufficient also supports your self-esteem. It helps to decrease your depressive symptoms and just to have like a better emotional self-regulation. I feel like in order for you to be able to really have the life that you prefer, you really have to be well established emotionally and mentally. And it
Yeah.
comes with that self-sufficiency. So yeah, I really feel that in this today's society is really vital for you to have that type of skill set just because everything's fast paced and everything's changing in our world, and you can't always go to someone else to get the answers.
Got it. Well, thank you for sharing that. And also, let's move on down if we can to talk a little bit more about your company, MB Guiding Light. What does that stand for and what does it offer, by the way?
So MB is just my first and last name. A lot of people call me MB, and I use that across the board.
Uh-huh.
So I've been using it since I was 16. So when they
Got
do,
it.
yeah, and so I just kind of make that my brand as far as, how I put it in my MB University, which I want to talk about
Yep.
later today. And then I have MB Guiding Light, MB Empress Tarot. So I use it across all of my platforms.
Yep.
MB Guiding Light, we really are about a holistic lifestyle. We really, I focus a lot on the spirituality piece of it because it's really important to understand the root cause as to why you operate the way you do in your adult life. And a lot of times I found out it's in your childhood. So I use my tarot cards at MB Guiding Light to really support you on
Yep.
to uncover things that you wouldn't necessarily think of immediately as a cause to your issue. And the tarot cards really give you insight. And I'm really accurate. It's really I'm still shocked to this day as how accurate I am when it comes to reading tarot. And it really has helped a lot of people get from a place of darkness to a place of light again, hope and believing in themselves to be able to have financial well-being, have
Yep.
a healthy relationship, have that self-sufficiency that I thrive on because I feel like it really enhances your ability to be more independent with other people, really be able to expand on who you are and not be limited to just who you are at the time. It's
Yep.
really, just focus on someone else bringing you the value in your life that is their meaning, not your meaning of life. So I really try to help you understand that and become more self-sufficient. I think it's important.
Yep. And mostly you work with clients in three key areas. Do you want to talk about those three key pillars a little more?
Sure thing. So, like I had mentioned on a couple episodes before, but we really focus on these three pillars. The first one is personal development. I feel like you have to start with yourself, your physical body, your internal body, your mental health, your emotional health, in order to be able to even get a job. And I think spirituality, like I hit on before, helps to get to the root cause of it. So then we could take our personal
Yep.
growth and then create this step-by-step program to get you to feel regulated, asymptomatic. And if I can't help you, I will get you to a therapist or something like that because I'm not, certified therapist, but I can help because I have experience and I have success stories that I can also talk about. So personal development is very key to getting the life that you want. You have to know who you are and how you operate within the confines of the society that we are all a part of. So, then that takes me to career development, professional development. I have 20 years of experience doing this, and I've, coupled this with my ability to do personal development and tarot reading to really get a whole person, not just a piece of the person,
Mm-hmm.
because you create an imbalance when you don't have all these three areas really in sync and in alignment. And professional development, it also helps to give you that peace of mind, that's self-sufficiency goal that we hopefully all would try to achieve. But professional development is the key to being able to get that preferred life, make the
Yep.
money that you need to be able to get that preferred life. But then in the midst of you getting that job, in the midst of you making this income, I will help you develop, budget plans, and I will help you to understand what a fixed income is versus a variable income, or expenses versus, fixed expenses. And really dive deep into your specific issues so that we could get to your specific outcome because no one is the same. And in Be Guiding Light, we understand that everybody comes to me at a different place in their life. And we know that each person is unique and special and different in their own way. And that's why there's no customized or there's no streamlined process in place. Nothing that
Yeah.
could, one person to the next, really, other than like a budget. But everybody's finances are, again, different. So MB Guiding Light really hones in also on the spiritual aspect of yourself, really finding who attune to,
Yeah.
if it's, God, or if it's, some other spiritual being, or if it's, an unseen entity that just kind of your ancestors supporting you on your journey to becoming a whole self.
Whatever it
And
is. Yeah.
I believe in spirituality in this fashion because I believe in the dance of life,
Hmm.
being aware of the fact that we have ups and downs, we have good and bad, you can't have the seen without the unseen. Even in science, it shows us that,
So true, right?
I can't see everything, right? And so I try to help you see things that you cannot see within yourself.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. And as we continue, let's just remind everyone how we could reach you, Michelle, with two L's, by the way.
Sure thing. Yes, with two L's. Yes, that's really important. So you can reach me again on my main website, which is www.mbguidinglight.com, and everything is connected to that site, as well as my YouTube channel, which is also the
Hmm.
same name, MB Guiding Light. My Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Again, I said that already, but it's all mbguidinglight.com, and I have a lot of great information out there that if you want to learn more before you call me at 773-412-6116. There's a lot of helpful information to understand who I am and why you should work with me.
All right. What about the importance of self-sufficiency? You want to dive into that and how lifestyle changes can promote this?
Absolutely. So, some of the key areas that a lot of people are working on in their development, and I think it's also important for your mental and emotional state to stay regulated. And that's called asymptomatic. I've been in therapy for 6 years, and I promote it because it has helped me, like I help you see where the root causes are, see where we can figure out a plan to get you to a more mental and emotional state that's asymptomatic. That's just meaning even.
Okay.
That's just meaning calm is normal. And I had to learn that calm was normal. So yeah, there's a lot of things that therapy can really support you on. But when it comes to self-sufficiency, it helps me to have an enhanced well-being. And some of the areas that a lot of people need to focus on, or want to focus on, or have focused on in the past is, eating healthy, uh, exercising, um, so that's the physical, the mental state, going to therapy if that's necessary, reaching out to family and friends if necessary. But really, um, the importance of it involves just having control over your life, and then reducing the dependency on others, and just being resilient. I feel like the profound impacts of self-sufficiency is it improves your self-esteem, and like I had said earlier, it also reduces your depressive symptoms, and it just emotionally keeps you regulated. And there's a sense of you being proud of yourself, for all that you put in, the work that you put into yourself, to be able to say, I'm self-sufficient. I can go out in a day to day and not have to answer to anyone. And I think that is the reason why I absolutely love being self-sufficient, because I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. And it's really nice to not have to answer to someone because I've borrowed money from them, or they're paying my bills because I can't
Yeah.
keep a job, or I, am emotionally unstable because I don't, prioritize my mental health. Like all these things really matter when it comes to the importance of wanting to be self-sufficient. A lot of people don't want to
Okay.
be self, and I work at a nonprofit company right now, a nonprofit agency, where we actually support the self-sufficiency cases and claims. So what we do is we are actually supporting individuals to get off of government assistance. We're actually assisting them with their career development, where I'm a career coach. We have case managers that support mental health and just like their overall lifestyle. So I really am an advocate for these areas of your life.
Yeah.
I'm a very self-sufficient person. I've always been self-sufficient. The only thing I would talk about is self-sufficient in the not negative sense, but just on the opposite side of it, is if you become too self-sufficient and
Okay.
not not ask people for help at all. I mean, you're gonna, deprive yourself of getting that nurturing support from others, that it comes with being interdependent with either your partners, your coworkers, or just whoever you have a relationship with in your life. So it's really important to understand what it means to even be self-sufficient. Because a lot of times, a lot of people have been so reliant. The age group that usually tends to stay at home is up to like 25, 26 at this age. So it's kind of like, okay, what
Mm-hmm.
is, how do I get there? And, you know, uh, why is it important for me? And I just stress that self-sufficiency just really, for me, it just gives me a sense of achievement in
Good.
my life.
All right. Well,
I
let's talk a little more about that. We have just 7 minutes left. So I want to make sure we're
Okay,
getting through everything. I know we're going to hear some success stories
cool.
too, and you'll tell us about some changes that we can make as well.
Yeah, some of the changes you can make with working with a career coach like myself is I help you to identify your strength. Then we help to develop your skills. Then I create a personalized action plan, and I give you the tools and support you need in order to sustain it too, because a lot of times people get into this self-sufficiency, a lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and they fall and crumble to the ground because there's an aspect of their life that's not, and they have to restart, and it's not aligned with everything else. Is so, for instance, like, you don't have a savings account or you don't have an emergency,
Yeah.
fund. Like, I teach every aspect of how
Talked
to
about
be,
that. Yeah.
yeah, how to be self-sufficient in your emotional state, your mental state, your finances, your just your overall approach to living life. A lot of times people don't even think it's realistic to be self-sufficient, or they're just so used to getting government assistance that they don't even understand that, this money is not real money and it's not free. It's just a means to be able to support you right now temporarily. And some people use it as a permanent tool, but it's, promoting self-sufficiency is I really don't know how else to say it, because it's just really something I've always had in my life. And honestly been so self-sufficient since I was 14. Coming from a household where we didn't have much, I almost was
Mm-hmm.
forced to do it. And having to overcome the obstacle of getting money, needing to have two jobs at one point when I was
Yep.
younger. Um, Learning how to budget my finances or manage my finances. I had to do that all on my own because they didn't teach these things in my high school. And then, going to school, going to get my degree from college, I had to pay for my college. This is all part of my self-sufficiency journey. Um, I moved to Chicago after, being in St. Louis for 26 years of my life. I did that all on my own, but I can say that I did it all on my own, and not a lot of people helped me along the way. And that for me is an accomplishment, because sometimes, it feels good to be like, I worked hard for this and I deserve everything that comes with it. And having somebody else say that they supported you or helped you along the way, it's good to give, a props to those that help you. But to say that you did the majority of it, I just find a sense of accomplishment and achievement in that.
Awesome. We loved hearing it. All right, keep going. We still have 5 minutes left.
Okay. So wanted to talk about a success story. And so this has to do with me identifying someone. Actually, I'll just tell you the raw story. My sister and my niece and her partner, in July of 2022, they showed up at my front door with no money and
Gosh.
no place to live. And so in a matter of 2 days, I was able to secure them both jobs.
Okay.
They lived with me for about 3 weeks. It was very uncomfortable scenario because they came from Houston, Texas, and they had lived a different lifestyle than what I live here in Chicago, which is, night and day
Yeah.
almost. And they were programmed to think a certain way. Like, they were the type of people that really relied on the government assistance, food stamps, cash out, healthcare, you name it. They almost to a point believed that they deserved it, and that this money was theirs, and that they didn't really have to work hard to get anything. And it's a mindset. And I had to really help them reprogram their mind, create new habits. You know, they were, and I hate to say this, very disrespectful. They were, you know, not really self-reliant at all. They really depended on me for food. They depended
Mm-hmm.
on me for money. They depended on me for, you know, everything. I had to teach them, you know, different levels of things that you
Yeah.
would assume is common sense,
But
but
no,
you learn the hard way that a lot of people just don't know what they don't know. And it's because they never had that experience. So I, you know, opened my door to all
you're
three
so
of them.
sweet.
And within a span of 2 days, like I said, they got jobs. And through my previous company. And then after about 3 weeks, they ended up finding their own place to live. And since then, they've acquired new jobs. They've secured multiple jobs
Wow.
just to make sure that they, you know, were self-sufficient. I think they found the value in having to say, I don't have to rely on certain things to bring me happiness and meaning in my life. I can rely on myself and believe in myself and roll the dice and know that I have me at the end of the day. Um, and this journey for them altered their life in a big way because now they have their own place. They are actually buying a car, and
Hmm.
they are just over the moon. They get to live a life that it has peace of mind.
Yeah.
They have a life that they can honestly, like I said, do what they please, bring meaning into their life, bring happiness into the life that they want, not necessarily what they are obligated to have or, you know, live by. You know, because when you're being supported by someone else, you don't have the wheels to the car to your life. And in order for you to be able to take the lead, you have to take the wheel too, in your life. And that's driving yourself to bring
Yeah.
value in your life by defining what means the most to you and prioritizing that in your life.
Well, thank
So,
you for sharing that. And unfortunately, we're just about out of time. I know there's still more to
okay,
get to. So can we just we'll kind of sum it up for today in the last minute together? Thank you.
you're welcome. So just to give you a little rundown of everything I just talked about, you know, MB lifestyle, MB guiding light, and as a lifestyle change coach, you know, I help to support you in 3 areas. That's professional development, personal development, and spiritual advisory. And we really look at a customized, holistic approach to being able to support you along the way. And you can find me on all different platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram at mbguidinglight.com, as well as my website, which is www.mbguidinglight.com. I have a podcast, which I didn't mention, but it's Why Me Now on Spotify and Apple. And then I also have a book on Amazon, Shining Light on Relationship Flags and Defining and Identifying Red and Yellow and Green Flags. So that's what I have for today.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you back and looking forward to the next time we get to connect, Michelle, with two L's. Thanks for today.
Yes,
Self-sufficiency. You
thank
taught
you.
me some stuff, and I hope our listeners too.
Awesome. Thank you,
Thank
Jill.
you. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.